Peter Pettigrew, or Wormtail, was the biggest traitor in Harry Potter. However, one thing could have changed how we see him and would make us feel a bit pity towards him. It's Peter's death and how he died. Peter Pettigrew wasn't seen dying in the films. Instead, he appears to have been stunned by Dobby, which is the last we see of him. But in the book, it was something else, something that shouldn't have been cut from the movie at all. Before we dive into it, let's remind each other how awful Peter Pettigrew was, and the terrible, unforgivable things he did in the past. Peter Pettigrew was by far the worst of the four marauders. While it can be said that he was loyal to his friends during school, that was mainly due to the protection they offered him. Pettigrew was weak, with an instinct for self-preservation, and his loyalty only lasted until he found someone more powerful to hide behind. He did become an registered animagus, along with James and Sirius, to help Lupin after all. He was one of the creators of the Marauders map, demonstrating quite a high level of skill when it came to magic. Though he can't take too much credit for it, he wasn't as talented as his friends, and relied on their willingness to help him keep up. Judging by what we know of his personality, he probably only became an animagus to keep the others on side, and not for any noble or selfless reason. After graduating, the four friends were recruited into Dumbledore's Order of Phoenix. Once a certain prophecy came to light, later Harry was targeted by Lord Voldemort. Peter became the Potter's Sacred Keeper after Sirius Black gave up the role, as he believed Pettigrew would be the less likely target of Voldemort. However, they didn't know that Pettigrew was the spy amongst the group and informed Voldemort of the Potter's location, leading his best friends to be murdered, trying to protect their son. That wasn't enough for Peter. He then faked his own death by cutting off his finger and framed Sirius for killing the Potters, 12 Muggles, and himself, before transforming into his rat form and fled away. His best friend Sirius spent the next 12 years in Azkaban. His other best friend was heartbroken at the loss of his friends, and found himself alone once more. Peter, on the other hand, was awarded the Order of Merlin First Class, something he definitely didn't deserve. 12 years later, Pettigrew was captured by his old friends and was ready to get punished. However, Peter was able to escape once again, after Remus transformed into a werewolf and ruined everything. Peter cost Sirius his freedom once again. Until now, Peter did a lot of terrible things. Instead of going into hiding, he once again went on to do something else, rejoining his master Voldemort, and helped him in his rebirth. He helped killing people in the process, sending an underage Harry to the Triwizard Tournament, and murdering Cedric Diggory, finally brewing the potion that would restore Voldemort to power, during which he had to sacrifice his hand. As a reward for his assistance and loyalty, Voldemort replaced his hand with a silver one, much stronger than his hand. Wormtail continued to work with the Death Eaters, and by the summer of 1987, he was staying at the Malfoy Manor, which served as the headquarters of the Death Eaters. In the 1998, Dobby operated at the cellar in Malfoy Manor, helping free the prisoners. The movie, however, did things very differently. Peter was attacked by Dobby when he arrived to help, and that's the last time he was seen on screen. But in the book, when Peter arrived to check on them, Ron got to wrestle his wand from him, but he got to Harry and began to strangle him. Harry did reminded him that he owed him a life debt after saving him from being killed by Lupin and Sirius back in the prison of Azkaban. And after a moment, Peter tried to show some mercy and hesitated, but the hand Voldemort gave him in the Goblet of Fire was cursed, that if ever Peter was going to switch loyalty, the hand would end his life, and that's what happened. Wormtail's silver hand turned to him and strangled him to death. Wormtail's original death has a lot more meaning and importance, as he managed to reach even if a second of redemption before being killed for betraying his master after living a whole life based on betrayal. His death in the book also implies that there was a part of him that regretted what he did to his friends, but his cowardice was bigger than anything else. It's unknown why the Harry Potter movies decided to change the scene, but for me, it definitely shouldn't have been cut. At last, one question that came to my mind while making this video: what if Peter didn't die? What if he helped Harry and Ron escape, and the silver hand was just a normal hand? Then I can't stop wondering whether Peter would show up in the Forbidden Forest with his friends when Harry used the Resurrection Stone, asking them for forgiveness, and that he regretted everything he did in the past. But to be honest, this is unlikely. If it were that way, then Snape would have showed up instead. Snape was a way better person than Peter. Anyway, that was all for today's video. I really would love to hear your thoughts about Peter Pettigrew's death. Was it an important scene or not? And what would have happened if he survived? Thanks for watching this video, and I hope seeing you again soon.